Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Laurie Maves Art Live Intuitive Painting. So today I'm only going to go 20 or 30 minutes, trying to keep it short and sweet. And so you guys don't, I don't lose you on the other end. And that way I also guarantee I won't overwork a segment of the painting. Today we are working on a big paint over of this big green piece here. This big green piece. This piece, let me see if I can. It has been a couple of different paintings so far, and I haven't liked any of them. So, um, this is the deal. I'm going to rework it. I mean, right now I kind of like it because it feels like this is like water and this is sky. Hmm. And I look at that. Maybe I will just go with that today. Maybe I'll make this a really deep blue, see what happens up top. And if it evolves into kind of a misty seascape, we'll go with that. Otherwise, this is one of those paintings, I just don't know where to take it. Mm. I just don't know where to take it. Okay, in my mind, I'm hearing dark blue, dark blue, dark blue. Camilla, Lamere, grazie mille for joining me today. I'm going to paint for 20 minutes. And I'm using oil paints and I'm doing a paint over. Or I'm going to kind of build on this one kind of seascape. I finished this big pink painting here. It's just drying. You guys watched me this last week work on that piece. So I'm really happy with that one. I'm going to leave it alone and it's drying. But this one I've sat with for a while and I just don't know where it's going to go. So in my mind, I just heard dark blue, dark blue. Let's see what happens when we add some like a dark indigo blue here. And I'm going to use oil sticks. That's a phthalo green. That's okay. Start with that. This piece is stretched on canvas, the stretchers, because it was another painting. It actually showed this at a number of shows and events. It was called Dead Crush, which was based on a song. Who were the guys who sang Dead Crush? I can't remember their name. That might come to me. But it was a painting called Dead Crush. And I did like the painting very much, but for some reason I didn't like it enough to keep it. So it's had this stuff come on top of it. And it's just one of those paintings. It just hasn't found a resolution for whatever reason. It's kind of like a relationship. Oh, my cat just jumped in the chair. It's like a relationship you have with a person. Hi, Cosmic Sushi. Thank you for joining. This painting is like that boyfriend or girlfriend that just never it was like you wanted to have a relationship with that person, and it just never came to be. Kinda like when Harry Met Sally, if you're if you remember from the '80s when Harry Met Sally. I think it was '80s. Maybe it was, yeah, it had to be '80s. So, let's see if, Harry and Sally can meet up in this painting and find some nice resolution where they can hang out together. Hi, John, thanks for joining. I'm only gonna be painting about 20 minutes today, but I appreciate you guys being here. So, um so this is a what is this? I can't This is like a burnt umber. Oh, this is gonna work. So in my mind, I heard I wanted dark down here. This painting has had been a couple other paintings. This one has really no plan. I wanted it to be, I have this ethereal feeling in my head with this one, but I don't. She's taking her time to reveal herself. That's for sure. If we can put a pronoun on our paintings, I would give this a she. So all I'm doing is putting some, because this is already an oil painting, I can't put acrylic on now, it just come off. Yeah. So I'm just gonna lay some color down. And I find this very frustrating to work because the piece has already been stretched, if you can tell. So there's some give here. And this is why I like painting. I don't like painting this way. I like having the canvas directly stapled to the wall. So you have a nice strong surface behind you. So, because when I tend to work like this, I use a lot of physical effort on the piece. And when it when it's already been stretched, you're fighting the looseness of that. So yeah. So I don't want to fight with her. Let's just, like I was talking about earlier, let's just get in a nice relationship. We're just to the point where we're beginning to maybe speak the same language. I was talking about how an artist's relationship to a painting can be like a relationship that you have in your life. I mean, most times it is. Most times the way we paint, as I've learned as an art therapist, our paintings that we make are almost 100% self portraits. Why is that? This is my theory. So I guess if you're an art therapist and you disagree with me, please do. But because you're the one making it, even if you're directed to make something freehand, by hand, I would say most arts is some kind of form of self portrait. I don't know what you're going to say about AI now and AI making art. I don't want to talk about that. I think that's gonna, I like AI, but not for art making. So I'm in this place with this painting where I'm just trying to figure out who she is, who I am, and how we're going to make a friendship together. Considering we have this barrier of looseness of canvas. So I've put down some oil pastel, and now I think I'm going to grab turquoise blue oil paint, see where that takes us, and maybe some white. Yeah, I like that feels good. So a little bit of this is phthalo turquoise. I love the phthalos. Phthalo turquoise combined with titanium white. Let's see where this takes off. It's some gold. Oh, that was really fluorescent green. Mm. All these big oil sticks, they form, what's great about it is they form a skin or a protective skin around them. So the whole stick doesn't dry out. It's like just a, it, it's a skin. It's a really better way to explain it. And you got to peel that skin off to access the media. Okay, so I've got some pigment down. I wish you guys could hear what I'm listening. I'm listening to, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm pretty sure it's German. Oh, Orlaufer Arnold's. And the album's called An Awakening. Or no, what is it? No, A Dawning. It's called A Dawning. Orlaufer Arnold's. And it's a beautifully serene album. I'm sure his music is influencing what I'm choosing there. Especially this song sounds kind of like sitting in a rainy afternoon, misty afternoon somewhere. I'm missing a hair tie. Who else is on the thing here? Elizabeth, thank you. LMJ, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keith, JL Hooker, you guys are awesome. Thanks for joining me in my life painting progress here. Okay, I need some paint thinner. And I'm using Gamsol. Gamsol. This should be a fun part to watch. I always think blending is the funnest thing. Oh my God, goes so fast here, guys. So my goal is to do these segments. I've done a handful of them so far on my blog here on my page. Whatever you call this thing. And um, It's easy for me to paint for an hour. It's easy for me to overwork a painting. I work on it for an hour. So I'm trying to shoot for these shorter segments, 20, 30 minutes, which definitely would guarantee I don't overwork it. The problem is I might not fully capture a flow state. And I love painting in a flow state. But what had just occurred to me is I can start off with you guys, record for 20 minutes, turn off the cam, turn on my music, and then maybe possibly get in a super duper flow state and then stop when I am called to do that. And I can take your energy with me. But I really kind of like how this thing is coming up right now. I live by Tampa Bay. I live really close to Tampa Bay. So I'm around I'm around water a lot. And it's really become a huge part of my life. My neighbor has this great fountain that's always going. So if I have my door open like I do today, I can hear the water flowing. Oh, that's pretty. But I read this great, I just finished the book Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. And I've always wanted to read that book. It was brilliant. And he describes our lives like a river as water. It's always flowing and there's no beginning and no end and no beginning and no end. If you really think about that, like our water on the planet, is it all essentially all the same water that was here a billion years ago? And it just keeps recycling itself. And if the water's here, wouldn't that make the same sense for us? Since the majority of our body is water, and then it keeps recycling themselves. And so do you think maybe our lives might be doing the same thing? Ooh, deep thoughts for a Monday afternoon. Something to definitely think on. Yes. I love that yellow there. No, what is that? I don't usually write. I was around my friend Debbie Ganheiser this last weekend, and I think maybe her paintings are making an impression on me. She has these really beautiful seascapes, waterscapes, lakescapes. But I don't want it to be literal. I don't know. Who knows? The great thing about painting is I'm trying to help those who want to learn about intuitive painting, or at least maybe get you going if you've never tried it, is that it really, you just have to let the painting find its own way. You just have to. And if you can be present and you can be a great listener, oh, this is great. This is great. This is great. If you can be a great listener in your life, Thich Nhat Hanh said, the greatest present you can give someone is your presence. So having said that, the greatest thing you can do as a painter, as an intuitive painter, is give your presence to the painting. And when you give your total and complete presence to the painting will tell you what it wants to be. And I know people who are new to painting probably find that really frustrating because it's hard to get far in painting, especially with oil painting, but painting in general, if you don't know the basics, it's like going to learn how to snowboard, right? Like you see people out there snowboarding, you've ever been to a mountain or skiing and they're just going at it and it's like, oh, it looks like it's so easy. It's so easy. And then you strap that snowboard on for the first time and you fall and you break your wrist. It's not, it's like that, right? But once you learn the basics, which you can learn the basics of snowboarding, it's not impossible. Little kids can do it, but you really just have to be open and you have to feel the snow and you have to be loose and in the flow, like in surfing, which I've never done. And painting's the same way. And I think if you tie yourself to a vision of how you think it, like, and hold on to that vision and not have any flexibility with that, that I think is where you're going to drive yourself nuts as a painter. Now, I know there's lots of painters who do that all the time. I have a vision. They paint till they get to that vision, said vision. Okay, great. Good. Good. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But like when I was teaching this class this weekend, and they were brand new painters, and God bless them, it can be a very scary thing to try. Just like snowboarding is a very scary thing to try the first time you do it. Not as dangerous, but if you don't know what you're doing, it can put you in a vulnerable position. And just like anything, the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. And then you'll learn that the painting, once you get some colors down, the painting has something it wants to say. It's something that wants to be expressed here. And if you're a good listener, if you give it your total presence, you're going to discover who that painting is and what that painting wants to be. But it takes silence, which I'm not doing while I'm talking to you. So we're going to end up this live stream pretty quick. So I can give this painting some silence and just work with it and build a relationship with it. And then bring you guys in again next time I'm able to stream. If you have questions or comments, or you can always send me a direct message. I've added a new feature this year for people who want to learn about painting. So paid subscribers can get a free coaching session every month. What a deal. I mean, that is if you want to sit down and have a one-to-one with me. Maybe that doesn't sound like so much fun. How many minutes we're in? We're in this for how many minutes? Hey, Alexia, Theo Spirit. Hey, Erlene. Thanks for joining. I'm in it now for 22 minutes. I'm going to give it 3 more minutes. Okay. I'm about to change brushes here and I need some more white. So I'm going to stop the live stream there today. I love Francis Bacon, study skin disease. Oh, I love Francis Bacon. I used to study his work when in undergrad. I had this great painting instructor. Quick story about Francis Bacon before I log off. I went to the University of Wisconsin in Madison from undergrad and was studying art. I was going to study graphic design, and then I hated graphic design, so I am just going right to art. And they gave my parents a heart attack. How are you going to support yourself? Well, I figured out by getting a degree in art therapy, but regardless, back at University of Wisconsin, there was a teacher there who taught painting. I think she taught painting, like figurative painting. I had taken painting 101, and that guy kind of And then figurative painting was Patricia Fennell. I think that's her name, Patricia Fennell. I think she's still alive. And she taught this figurative painting class. And this was probably 1991. And paint. It was really hard for me. I wasn't good at paint. I was really new to painting. I didn't understand it. And we had a figure we needed to paint. And I was struggling. She came up to my canvas and I'd been struggling a couple classes. And she says, I have some art books in my office. Don't you worry about the figure. Why don't you go find an artist that you are connecting with or that you find stimulating or what interesting? So I went into her office. I grabbed a book. It was Francis Bacon. I thought, this guy is out there. It's wild. It's crazy. I love the way he does dry brush on the can. I loved his painting techniques. And I was like, this guy, I want to paint like him. She said, great. Come to class. Each time you come to class, take this book, look at the figure, look at a page, one of Francis Bacon's paintings, and make something between the two. And I would do that. And that's why Francis Bacon always brings me back to that teacher and her openness to help share the love of painting with someone who's struggling to figure it out. And God bless her. She was one of my greatest teachers. She, as far as teaching you how to paint and how to remove the editor and how to just keep your hand moving, keep the colors coming, and then give painting space. And then she was very unconventional, and I loved her for that. Loved her for that. And so I try to transmit some of those lessons I got from her to you guys. Okay, just in a few more seconds, let me take you up to the close. Let me take you up close. That's what I like to do at the end. Again, I'm going to try to keep these shorter streams. But this is the painting from last week's live stream. Really happy with that. I'm letting that one dry. But I love the way I'm really happy with the direction of this one. Even it's funny, it kind of I don't know what's happening with that lake scene over there. Don't worry about it. But this one, I feel good. I feel like we've got a good relationship going now. I can maybe hold on to some of this stuff, some of these great little, that brush I'm using leaves these nice little streaks in here, which are really fun to work with. This may continue to be a horizon line. We might lose it. Who knows where it's going? Who knows where it's going? But thank you guys so much for joining my channel today, my live stream. Please subscribe to my blog or my YouTube page. These end up over there. And I try to do this once or twice a week. But if you have something specific you want to learn about or a specific color palette you're interested or whatever, just send me a private message and we'll interact the way we do. Jill, thank you. Well, that's really great. I hope to be able to do this. I have a blog. It's called the Sketchbook Diaries. It's been about works in a sketchbook. And then it evolved to being kind of a travel log. And then it evolved to I'm doing the sketchbook entries and then I'm interviewing creative people. So I have an interview series. And then I've added this intuitive light painting just recently. And sharing my painting process with you has been a little bit eye-opening because intuitive light painting is something that I have done privately. And so to kind of not only do it publicly, but also I've done a lot of live painting, but it was performance paintings for other purposes. But to do intuitive light painting that's abstract and then explain the process is a whole new beast, but I'm figuring it out every day. So you guys, thank you so much. Hope you tune in again. See how this thing's rolling out. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, cartwheels, all that stuff. Thank you. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you. Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.